Alright, what is up, my MotoSaaders? Literally dealing with Canada wildfires today. I'm actually, I don't know if the camera's picking this up. Dude, I'm literally wearing an N95 mask under this bad boy. Just cause it's bad out here, dude. Like, the air quality is, I think it's almost in the 200s. Like, it's bad. Air quality is not good out here. Here in the, I'm in the Illinois region, Chicagoland region. But I had to do it to him. To be honest, I actually think it's only gonna get worse. I think the air quality is gonna get worse as time goes on. I think these wildfires are only beginning. It's kind of nuts. It's nuts to me because, you know, during the Panini Nanini 2020 times, everybody was really big on masking up. I don't see anybody wearing any masks right now, bro. I am speeding pretty hard. I don't see anybody masked up right now, man. And if there's any time to be wearing a goddamn mask, it's when there's smoke in the air. So I can literally see it with my own eyes. I can see the smoke with my own eyes. It's not good. The weather is, the air quality, the weather's amazing, bro. The weather's amazing and the air quality is garbage. And that's nuts. You know, because if you think about it big picture, if you think about it big picture, first they poison the food, filling it up with soybean oil and all this nonsense, fucking sugars, not even sugar. Not even sugar. Sugar's terrible for you, but they're not even using sugar anymore, bro. They're using corn syrup. They messed up the food supply. Then they messed up the water, putting all kinds of chemicals and fluoride in it. Even though fluoride is proven, I don't know if I should say the word proven, but fluoride, there are ongoing studies that it has negative neurological impacts, specifically with your pineal gland, which is solely, holy crap, bro, is that a storm? Should I be turning around? I can't tell, dude, with the smog. I can't tell with the smog if it's gonna rain or not, dude. Yeah, man, they messed up. First they messed up the food supply, filling it up with soybean oil and corn syrup. Then they messed up the water by putting all kinds of chemicals and fluoride in it. And now they're coming for the air, bro. Even though I think the air thing is probably more natural. You know, this is a natural impact that we're dealing with because, you know, we as human beings probably messed up. You know, in the 1970s, Exxon actually knew about climate change since the 70s, and they funded this massive, Exxon funded this massive lobbying campaign, just like putting all kinds of misinformation out there. I don't know what the actual impact of climate change is, if it's real or not, or what the circumstances are. All I know is that if you're a climate change denier, if you're somebody who's very gung-ho, like climate change is definitely not a thing, you're probably spewing some nonsense that Exxon started in the 70s. That's all to say that your thoughts probably aren't your own. I don't know, I don't think we as human beings come into this world with inherent thoughts. Everything is programmed, and everything that we've been programmed to believe and think is all for someone else to profit off of. All the food you eat is probably garbage. The water you drink is probably making you fucking stupid. The air you breathe is giving you lung cancer. Dude, even I'm a pretty big fan of the can of bees. You know, I'm a pretty big fan of the can of bees. And I think they messed up that too. The moment the can of bees got legalized, my habits got a lot worse. You know, I was in the sauna, you know, gym yapping with some of the youth, I was gym yapping with some of the youth in the sauna, and I was like, yo, what do you guys even do lately? You know, like what is the next generation up to? And they were like, yeah, we just play Fortnite and partake in the can of bees. And I was like, oh, no, wait, that's exactly what I did when I was in high school. You guys have not evolved or changed. Very interesting. Or we have not evolved or changed. Very interesting. And then they asked me, you know, what was it like buying the can of bees when, you know, it wasn't legal? And I was like, dude, I would hit up this guy, he would hit up another guy, he would hit up another guy. I'd show up behind these random apartments. This dude would show up, he'd walk into the forest, and he'd come out with a backpack, and I'd get ripped off, and I would be very happy. And, you know, we used to giggle, we used to laugh, have a good time, and then I would go weeks without it, and then I'd, you know, partake in the can of bees again. And then they were like, oh, no way, I literally can't go, you know, a second without it. And I was like, me neither, bro. That's nuts. It's something that I'm actively working against, or I believe is actively working against me. Which then makes me think that the moment that thing got legalized, they messed it up, bro. They started using it for their own purposes. It's not made for the fun times that it used to be made for, dude. It's made for making you docile, making you nice and easy. Make sure you just have a good time. Don't think too much. Pay your taxes, and we're all good. And I think that's exactly what happened. A lot of the life we've been taught to live is a lie, man. A lot of the life we've been taught to live. You know, diamonds aren't even real. Like the whole theory behind diamonds, it's not even real. Diamonds aren't forever. Diamonds aren't rare. There was a company named De Beers. The De Beers company. They made everybody think that diamonds are forever. Blah blah blah. This and that. And they cornered the diamond market. This company, De Beers, they cornered the diamond market to artificially inflate the price of diamonds, and that's it. That's why the price of diamonds is what it is. It's all manufactured. It's all an illusion. Dude, even Michael Jackson at one point was talking about how the songs you listen to, the music you listen to, is basically like mantras. The songs and music you listen to is basically like mantras that are going into your subconscious brain, programming you. Michael Jackson knew that. And now, all the music that's being listened to, sorry, I'm really multitasking here. The only reason I'm here right now is because I got to figure out if it's going to rain. It looked like it was going to rain in the distance, but I think with this tinted visor, it screws me up. I'm sorry, folks. Let me just see if it's gonna rain. Un momento, por favor. But no, even Michael Jackson knew. Yeah, look at that. Not that. What am I even looking at? Some ad. I'm getting hit with an ad. Please, let's check it out. AccuWeather forecast. Let me put in my zip code. Alright, it's generally correct. Generally correct. We got 73 degrees. What a beautiful day. Air quality alert. Wildfires. Reduced air quality in a hazy sky. Is it rainy though? Is it raining though? Alright, they're telling me no rain. You guys see this? You guys see this shit? No rain. So, they're saying no rain. That's what they're telling me. Let's hit it. But no, man. Michael Jackson knew that music was literally like mantras that goes into your deep subconscious brain. You got it, bro. No worries. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding right now. But no, dude, Michael Jackson knew that the music goes into your subconscious. And And then I'm pretty sure they, you know, they medically switched cheese to him. And, you know, what are we dealing with now? You know, we're listening to all kinds of music that, dude, the wind is bad. I don't like riding in this weather right now. This wind, I don't know if it's, I can't tell if it's the smog or what, dude. You guys saw it. It said no rain. Man, I keep getting off track with this wildfire. But oh, wait a second, dude. I think I'm looking north right now, and it looks like it's gonna rain. It looks like it's gonna rain in the north region. Is that? No, that's... I don't like the look of this, man. This looks like an apocalypse, dude. I got my N95 mask on. The smog is bad. It looks like it's gonna rain. Can't even use my own eyes to find out if it's gonna rain. Don't do it, thank God. As I was saying, Michael Jackson knew that the music goes into your deep subconscious. And the kind of music that we're dealing with now is just like, you know, if it's going straight into your subconscious, it's definitely not making you smarter. It's definitely here to make you more degenerate. And I can only presume it's because it's gonna... Holy crap! Goddamn snakes! Yeah, if we listen to the music now, it's definitely making you more degenerate. It's definitely not making you smarter. You know, I'm pretty sure when they say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, I'm pretty sure you're regurgitating some marketing campaign. I'm pretty sure it was a marketing campaign that made you think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, man. Your body actually spends so much energy processing food that you're better off staying in a fasted state. You're better off staying in a fasted state so that your body can send its energy towards your like brain so that you can like actually be a functioning human being, critically thinking human being. But they don't want you to be a critically thinking human being. So they want you to eat breakfast in the morning. And what kind of breakfast? Bacon, fats. They want you to eat all kinds of heart attack fuel, including sugar. Sugar is terrible for you, and they, you know, like, and they, I'm pretty sure they've lobbied these agricultural companies, or these food companies have lobbied to make you think that sugar isn't as much of a contributor to heart disease and like heart attacks as much as it really is. And on that note, I'm pretty sure the doctors and like the medical industry colluded to move the cholesterol limits to get younger people on statins, which are basically like, you know, a little bit of like blood thinners, you know, blood thinners. And they're getting people on blood thinners to like scaring them into thinking that they're gonna have a heart attack. And they did that by moving the line. They moved the line. And now you know, like, I don't know what kind of nonsense that is. And not only that, but I'm pretty sure that SSRIs, there's studies about how antidepressants only marginally like work. Like when in compared to placebos in actual studies, antidepressants barely work. They work a little bit. But they don't tell you these things, man. They don't tell you these things because it fuels profits. And guess what? It actually makes you a little more wealthy. It makes the wealthy a lot more wealthy, and it makes you a little more wealthy. Because we were all convinced, to put all our money into a 401k. We were all convinced to put our money into a 401k and our IRAs so that we can be nice, happy, successful when we're 65, even though there's a 25% chance that you're gonna be dead or disabled by the time you turn 65. And the rate of strokes is skyrocketing. So that number is only going to increase. There's only going to be higher and higher chances that you're gonna have a stroke before you even get to enjoy all that money that you threw into your 401k and Roth IRA, all for when you turn 65. Nonsense. I don't know what the key is to all this, man, but all I know is that whatever they're saying, you probably shouldn't believe it. Whatever they're saying, don't believe it. Think for yourself, think critically. You know, well, I'm pretty sure Andrew Carnegie made sure that there were bars right next to all of his steel mills because he knew that people's lives were gonna suck. He knew that his workers' lives were gonna suck, so he made sure that there were bars. You know, oh, your life's gonna suck and you're gonna be a stupid worker for me. Make sure you go home and drink about it. Don't go home to your family. Go to the bars and drink about it. It's terrible. Really, all of this just to say, think for yourself, man. Think for yourself. Like, dude, I can see the smog. I can smell the smog. I can clearly see that this wildfire stuff is actually legit. I got my N95 mask on now. You know, when it was 2020, they scared everybody into wearing a mask. But now, when it's like directly like right in front of me, like, yo, there is smoke in the air, nobody's wearing masks, and they're not telling anybody to wear masks. That's all to say, man, they don't have your best interests in mind. You gotta keep in mind your own best interests. Think for yourself. Live your own life, even if that means you walk alone, especially if that means you walk alone. Get rid of all the idiots making you do all kinds of nonsense. Become friends with people who you have aligned values with. And even if you can't find friends you have aligned values with, it's better to have no friends than to have bad friends. 10 out of 10 times, 100 out of 100 times, it's better to have no friends than bad friends. You know, and it's actually hilarious because it's actually really unfortunate because I went to business school. You know, I went to business school, I've worked for food companies, I've been there. And when you work in business, or even, you know, when you go to class, when you go to economics class, you're not taught really about human beings, you're taught about consumers. All that to say, you know, to the people who run this world, you're not a human being, you're a consumer. And the biggest thing of that is that, the biggest thing about that is that you know, when you talk about human beings being consumers, sorry, my nose itches. When you talk about human beings being consumers, you have to think in terms of markets. And the biggest market that we are seeing right now, you know, it's not the corn market, it's not the gold market, it's not the copper market, but the biggest market that we're seeing right now is the attention market. The biggest market is quite literally for your attention. And so you have to guard your attention because it has value. Where you put your attention is where the world gets shaped. And they are very adamant about making sure that you're focusing on the things that they want you to focus on. And so that's why it is ridiculously important that you focus on the things that you feel like you want to focus on. And you have to understand that much of what you believe is not your own thoughts. These are thoughts that have been pre-programmed. So considering the attention market is the biggest market we're seeing, it is key, very, very crucial that you guard your attention. You know, this whole world revolves around profit. Quarter over quarter, profit margin expansion and revenue growth. And the only way they can have that happen is by stealing your attention, and by first getting your attention, then they get you to buy that garbage product that is basically poison. You know, a lot of that food isn't even food, man. It's poison. Food is supposed to nourish you. It's not supposed to make you feel lethargic. The water, man, reverse osmosis. There's a lot of things that you can do to safeguard yourself. There's a lot of things you can do to safeguard yourself, your attention, there's a lot of things you can do to safeguard yourself, starting with your attention. And then once you safeguard your attention, then you can safeguard your body, your mind, ultimately your soul. It's a must. You know, if you don't want to end up losing your life to something stupid, you know, like the amount of strokes and heart attacks that are happening that could have been avoidable, but you know, those things are perfectly fine because strokes and heart attacks generate profits. There's non-profit hospitals out there that when you start dying, they're like, oh hey, we'll save your life, billing you for all these things you don't need, putting you in surgeries you don't need, but they're like, oh, don't worry, we're a non-profit hospital. But then you look at the executives for the non-profit hospital, and they're making multiple millions of dollars every single year. It's nuts. That's not a non-for-profit, bro. That is a for-profit operation disguised as a non-profit. And that's why you can't even trust the doctors. You can't trust the doctors. You can't trust the surgeons. You have to trust... I don't even know. What do you trust? I don't know, guys. This is where I get stuck. Like, what the hell do you even believe in? If it's all for profit, what the hell do you believe in? I don't know what the move is, but all I know is that the consumer economy, the consumption culture, it's gone too far, and it's gotten to the point where we as human beings are being consumed by consumption. To the point where, you know, strokes and heart attacks, you know, they get you to eat the garbage foods and drink the garbage water so that you're a docile worker, so that you pay taxes. And then from there, when your health goes to shit because you were eating garbage food and drinking garbage water, they start generating profits even in the medical facility. This world's full of lies. Oh. watch your senses, folks. Watch what you look at. Watch what you eat. Watch what you listen to. Watch what you say. If you do those things, you'll be able to protect yourself from the extraction, the mass amount of extraction that is going on by these companies and by these medical institutions, by the whole world.